opening up the UFC Singapore fight card, we have Seung Woo Choi taking on Jarno Errens. Seung Woo Choi is 10-6 overall, 2-3 in his last 5. He is riding a 3-fight stoppage streak. He's taking on Jarno Errens. Jarno Errens is 13-4 overall, 2-1 in his last 5. He is looking for his first UFC win. Seung Woo Choi is a clean striker. He fights tall. He throws with solid power. He does a nice job utilizing leg kicks, and he uses them like a jab sometimes. He's technical. He sets up his takedowns well if he's going to use takedowns, and he mostly uses them to clinch rounds. But despite being like well-rounded, if you will, he is riding a 3-fight losing streak. The most recent of which was a TKO loss to Mike Trezano, where there was a double knockout knockdown in that fight. They blasted each other. They both went down, which was actually really fun to watch. There's been only one double knockout in the history of UFC, and that was incredible. Anyway, Jarno Errens. This guy's a decent prospect. He's got solid striking, solid takedowns when he needs them. He's primarily a striker. He likes to come forward. He wants to dictate that pace. He does a very nice job working the body and then the head, as well as mixing in kicks. He throws everything with power, and that does make him dangerous, but it also does set him up to be taken down. I did just right off the rip want to pick an underdog, but this isn't going to be that spot because you're going to see initially, Seung Woo Choi, 3-fight losing streak, all stoppages. But if you move past just that 3 fights and what Tapology does with the colors on the screen, you're going to see that not only is he only 30 years old, he's a quality fighter, and the losses are decent too. He lost to Movsar Evloev in his UFC debut. Since then, his losses are Gavin Tucker in 2019, Bruce Leroy, Josh Cooleybow, Mike Trezano. These are actually decent losses. None of them are world champions. None of them are top 5 ranked, but they're all solid fighters. Cool. Jarno's well-rounded. Choi's the pick. I think Choi wins, but I'm not betting on that. What do you think, Jakey boy?
I think I am going to go the other way in this matchup. Wow. And it comes down to, say that again now.
I said, wow.
Considering the week that I had last week, I think you should probably refer to me as Papa.
Because you picked one fight, correct? Get over yourself, dude.
I picked the round and the shot. Step off
of right one hand. Fight, dude. Of one fight.
By the way, Lock of the Week video is live right now. Check out the Lock of the Week video because it might be better than last week's, honestly. This fight comes down to the chin of Choi, and at this point, I don't think I can trust it. I mean, he is a tough guy, and typically when he gets knocked down, he does bounce back up, right? And he comes through, and as you mentioned, he's fought tough guys, and he probably is the better overall fighter in this matchup. But when he sees red, and when he gets clipped, and he literally, like you saw that with Chris Weidman. We were watching that fight. Remember when Chris Weidman basically just bit down and was like, blah, and just like went nuts, like trying to charge at him? Choi does that every time he gets clipped. And against a guy like Jarno Errens, that does worry me. Now, Jarno is not like this overly powerful guy. He's not a guy that's just going to come through one-punch power and knock you out. But he is an accurate striker. And when somebody is already losing their chin, you don't need a lot of power. You just need to find the right spot at the right time. So I think there's going to be a moment here where Choi is going to get clipped again. And is his chin going to hold up? At this point, I can't trust it. He took a lot of damage. Last time he was knocked out cold. And Jarno Errens Jarno Errens is also very well versed on the ground. So if Choi does get hurt, maybe he's coming off that knockout. He wants to wrestle now to kind of slow the fight down. Jarno is a very dangerous guy on the ground, in his guard. Even if he gets on top, you saw that he was getting kind of beat up by William Gomez in the 3rd round. Almost gets the last second submission to win that fight. He's not a quitter. He is a tough out. If anything, I think he can definitely steal a round. Little hint at the premium membership bet there. If you want to check it out, WeWonPicks.com. It's only $10 a month. I do have a couple bets for this fight, both of them kind of being on the Errens side. So I understand Choi's probably the better overall fighter, but I'm going Errens here. I think we can sneak this one out.
Yeah, I mean, my issue with it, like I said, I'm not betting on this fight. Just like last week, I got the main event wrong. It's the only fight I got wrong, but I didn't bet on it because I wasn't confident enough, right? It was like, I think Aljamain's going to win, but I absolutely see the other side. And this is the same thing. I think Seung Woo Choi is going to win. I think he's the better fighter. But I get it. This dude is getting finished. 3 times in a row he's been finished. He has takedowns. He'll need takedowns in this fight, but he doesn't use them as often as he'd like. He uses them towards the end of rounds, and things could absolutely happen. So I am on the Choi side. Jakey Boy is on the Jarno Errens side, and I am not I repeat, not spending $8,800 in DraftKings. Are you, Jakey Boombaloots?
I can't really focus right now.
We have a $100 super chat from Riffraff. Riffraff says, $10 a month is nothing for the info and the tools you get. I made a killing this past weekend on Angelo's picks and Jacob's lock of the week. Thanks. We want picks.
He said picks, not even. I mean, those are. You must have been sending him. He's selling your picks, huh? That's nice. I like that. Do you know who Riffraff is? Tiptoeing in my Jordans.
I saw the movie.
Tiptoeing in my Jordans. Tiptoeing in my Jordans. Do you know who Riffraff is? Remember Riffraff from G's to Gents? Do you listen to his music?
I just know who he is from that movie with Selena Gomez.
You remember G's to Gents, though, right?
Riffraff. No, I've never heard of that in my life.
You didn't watch G's to Gents?
I've never heard of that in my entire life.
It was the MTV show in the early 2000s with P. Diddy and what was his butler's name? Farnsworth or something? Yeah, Farnsworth brought all of these, like, just these hood people in to, like, teach them how to be, like, these proper gentlemen and stuff. And Riffraff that's how he, like, got his start. Riffraff was in there, and he was, like, the most popular one. That dude's a wild dude.
I know he's wild, but
G's to Gents,
and I watched that movie. Spring Breakers is the movie, which is wild. Anyway,
Riffraff's a funny guy. I like him.
Thank you, Riffraff. We appreciate you. I said I'm not doing the $8,800 on Seung Woo Choi and DraftKings. I imagine you're not as well. But if you want a full DraftKings breakdown of every single fighter on this, not every single fighter, but they rank every single fighter by salary and then break down which fighters you should have in which lineups depending on your contest type, become a premium member, $10 a month, WeWantPicks.com.